Hi, and welcome to my channel, Inner Alchemy Tarot. Today's reading is a reading for the collective. I was inspired to do a reading because of this eclipse and this full moon that we're going to be having tonight and the powerful energy of this full moon. So this is a super flower blood moon in the sign of Sagittarius, and there is also an eclipse, which makes the energies of this full moon even more powerful. And as I was learning about this full moon, I began to understand how important the energies of this full moon really are. I watched a video, which I'll put a link in the description, where a woman named Bridget Nielsen talks about how this full moon falls in line with a Toltec prophecy about moving from the fifth sun into the sixth sun. And this full moon is a portal ushering in a new epoch where we're moving into the energy of the sixth sun. And the sixth sun is about moving from striving for materialism and everything external to going to the internal, to a more feminine energy. Sorry, that was my dog. Hang on. So I just found that information about this moon super interesting and was inspired to do this video. So anyway, without further ado, let's see what the cards have to say about the energies of this full moon. All right. Seven of Voices, which is the Seven of Swords. Seven of Emotions, which is the Seven of Cups. And the Ten of Emotions, which is the Ten of Cups. All right, just trying to get these cards straight. Okay. So what's coming through for the collective is, if you look at this Seven of Voices card, you can see there are a couple of foxes peeking around the corner and this woman with a fox head. So this is referring to that we have been sold a bill of goods as a collective. We have been sold a bill of goods about materialism and striving and being enslaved by materialism. Like, you know, you'll be happy when you get the next new car, you'll be happy when you get your huge house, or you'll be happy when. So that we've all been sold a bill of goods. And the bill of goods is you're not enough. And the more things you have, the better you'll feel and the happier you will be. And so that is the bill of goods that the collective has been sold. And we move on to the Seven of Emotions card. So this is the card about illusions, and it goes right along with the Seven of Voices card. The illusion is to always look outside yourself for validation or your next move, and follow that path of society and what everyone else says you should do. But in reality, the best move is to always follow your heart. Not what everyone around you says you should do, but the best move is to always follow your heart and tune into your intuition to make a choice. Because behind some of these choices, there's danger. Behind some of these choices, things will blow up in your face. Behind some of these choices is your right path that you should be taking. And you will only know your right path when you learn to tune into your intuition and go within. And that is the bill of goods that we've been sold. Don't look within, don't look there, look outside yourself for validation and what kind of a life path you should be on, and what everyone else tells you to do, and not your inner knowing. With this Ten of Emotions here coming in, this reminds me of this full moon ushering in a new era, and then us receiving new light and new energy. And the words that are coming through, what I'm hearing is the great central sun. Us receiving light and new light upgrades from the great central sun, and us moving into a whole new era. And you can see the people dancing and singing down below, receiving this light from this sun, and with the energy of the moon as a symbol of us moving into this brand new energy. And also I'm hearing the age of Aquarius. So this new era we're going to be moving in for thousands of years also lines up with moving into the age of Aquarius. You know, just like the song says, you know, an era of peace and harmony and cooperation rather than division and competition, which is the era we were just in, the Piscean era of you know, competition and looking outside yourself. But we are moving in to a time where we will be going within for the answers and not looking to the media or society. And we will be feeling fulfilled in the joy of receiving that light in the inner knowing, and receiving and being connected with people around you rather than, you know, trying to keep up with the Joneses. How about connecting with the Joneses and just living in a more harmonious community where we're all working together, and that, you know, that's who we evolved to be, not this competitive society. We evolved to be cooperative. We evolved to help each other. We evolved to you know, follow our intuition and connect with nature, our true nature and Mother Nature. So let's go ahead and look at our last card. This is from the Kali Oracle deck, Smashana. Okay, so take a look at this card, but don't be scared. The energy of Smashana and the goddess Kali is a very fierce energy. And you can look and see she's got skulls around her neck and a head on a platter. I mean, it all looks like very scary energy, but sometimes we need that fierce grace to move into our lives so that we can cut away things that aren't serving us and that are draining us, cut away that stagnant energy. Sometimes we need to push. And what I'm hearing from Spirit is that don't worry, because we've already been through a lot of the worst things. Like this past year was crazy. We've all experienced such a upheaval in our lives, the whole entire planet. And that is the divine grace moving through our lives. And things will never be the same, but in a good way. What else I want to say about this is that, you know, it seems like this is a symbol of death, but it's not a literal death. It's an egoic death. So as a collective, the whole entire world went through an ego death. And for me personally, I've gone through many ego deaths through this whole pandemic process, and it's been on just fast forward the evolution and the going through many dark nights of the soul and coming out of it. You know, I've been through dark nights of the soul where it takes a while to get through it, but it's like going through a dark night of the soul, then getting through it and coming out on the other side. I've been through that so many times in this past year. I think everything is speeding up. We are coming to an era where we will literally receive more light and upgrades in our genetic code to match this new epic, this age of Aquarius moving into the 6th sun era. And this goddess Kali, and it matches perfectly with the moon, the full moon in Sagittarius, and getting rid of old stagnant beliefs that do not serve, and finding those things that do drain your energy, those energetic parasites, whether it be thought forms or people around you, and cutting those away and making way for a new flowering of consciousness in your own consciousness and in consciousness as a whole. And this is the flower moon, which is a symbol of spring and all the flowers blooming. So that's what we're moving into. So don't worry about this. Spirit is telling me right now, we've gone through the worst of it. Spirit is telling me we've gone through the worst of it, and now is the time for flowering. That lotus flower coming up through the mud, because that lotus flower needs the mud to bloom. It needs the shadows. And this is about integrating pieces of yourself, those pieces of yourself that you may have disowned. This is about taking a good look at that. And I know for myself and a lot of people around me, those shadows are coming up, but they're coming up to be integrated, because those shadows are, we push them away. We don't want to look at them. So we leave kind of fragments of ourselves behind because we don't want to look at those shadows and we don't want to integrate it. But the energy of Kali is coming in, and that divine feminine grace is coming in so that we can look at those disowned parts of ourselves with compassion and integrate that into our energy field instead of pushing it away, which creates resistance. And once you integrate all those pieces of yourself, you can move forward without anything holding you back. And that's what this flower moon is ushering in. And also in Sagittarius, with that energy of expansion, the energy of expanding your horizons and gaining new wisdom and knowledge and dreaming big. The energy of Jupiter is about, an auspicious time of dreaming big and things just moving forward in such a beautiful way. So there's one more thing coming through about this full moon. Okay, so we've got the 10 of emotions. The 10 symbolizes a new beginning and the ending of things, which the full moon also represents. And the Shmashana card, this Kali card, represents the ending of something, but also the things that had to end for your new beginnings. And those things that are ending, are fertile ground for your new beginnings. What I want to say to you is about the moon and the full moon energy is it's a great time to, an exercise that I like to do is write down things that do not serve me. Really take a good look at it and shine a light on it. Write things down that do not serve me, and then light yourself a nice little fire in your fire pit. Light that stuff on fire, but then after that you create your new intentions going forward, which, with the energy of this full moon, it'll just be magnified. That will be a beautiful thing that you can do for yourself to take full advantage of the energy of this powerful full moon eclipse. Okay, I want to read to you, before I go, this invocation that came with this Kali card, which is just beautiful. It's from the Alana Fairchild guidebook. And let me hold it up to you so that you can take a screenshot, and if you feel called to, you can do this later for yourself. Let me try to get this in focus for you. Hopefully you'll be able to screenshot that and see it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and read this really super cool invocation from this guidebook. Beloved Ma, Smashana Kali, Vama Kali, you raise the sword of divine truth in your right hand. My heroic heart, yearning for freedom, truth, and love beyond all else, leaps with joy at the sight of you, the lotus flowers of compassion full, reminding me that your ferocity is divine love in action. You wield the swords of severing grace. Obstructions and defilements submit to your blade. I bear the loss that follows your intervention with dignity. I offer to you all pain and fear that may arise through this process. My heartfelt offerings are testaments to my loving trust in your wisdom. May your power bring freedom to all beings. Jai Ma Kali. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and also hit the notification button so that you'll get any new videos that I put out, and make a comment about what resonated with you and tell me what you plan to do with the energy of this full moon. I know for me, I have a drum that I made the other day, and under the light of the full moon, I'm going to wake this drum up and start playing it, and so I'm excited about that. Much love to you all. I hope you have a beautiful day. Namaste.